yet, huh?
I've been cutting my own hair for years.
Have you really? Yeah.
And I get home with my truck and none of them want to work on Saturday afternoon. But I cut it myself and I've usually been okay, but my kids are home, Rebecca, and then I says, dude, I was going to have her trim all the scraggler hairs in the back of my neck, and she misunderstood something, and I put the really short one on that. And she started going up, so look how high it is in the back. We had to even it out. She started crying. She started crying. She started crying. Oh, just these.
Well, I think the world's waiting on us.
Oh, are we on? Is that what it is?
We are. We are.
All right, say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Make a motion to approve the minutes in the agenda.
I'll second.
Motion extended and a second from Derby to approve minutes on the agenda. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Discussion with possible action of ESIS insurance.
I think you've got the wrong agenda. Let me print you
Oh, that date
one.
is wrong.
Is there two of them there or just one?
Mike, do you have the right one?
Yeah.
Okay.
How come, what was in my mailbox? Is there anything else in there?
There's one coming out for you.
Now that we're all on the same page.
All right, yeah, 9 AM, quarterly update regarding Veterans Affairs.
Cindy, are you on the phone? She must not be.
Cindy, are you on the phone?
Or we could just go on to COVID and
All right.
pop on.
Discussion regarding COVID-19 policies.
Kelsey, are you on the phone?
I am.
Okay.
Now we know the phone works.
Interesting thing you sent us.
Yeah.
Well,
I still think in light of that, we should go through May, split offices. Just, you got an election coming up.
Well, I think it's still up to the department heads on what, like with Scott, for him, his department, he can proceed with his staff and be safe.
especially the guys in their equipment, they're pretty well social distance all day anyway,
Right.
so.
So it wouldn't be so how did we make our last policy through a certain date or indefinite?
Till further notice.
It was indefinite,
Yeah.
and just of course subject to change at any time. I do know, I talked to Blake Norman in Hancock County a little bit, and they have just kept this as a running agenda item on their agenda every week so that they could discuss it in the event they decide to open back up or whatever. That might be an idea. He said they've talked about opening back up, but they haven't taken any steps to do that. And he didn't anticipate that anytime soon, I don't think.
Well, just to have discussion from the people in the courthouse, what would it take to get to I don't know, would it be phase one open up in the courthouse? Or
We made the recommendation yesterday in Garner to start talking with the department heads about an opening plan. The supervisors down there seem to want to open sooner rather than later, so it would not surprise me that next Monday that they come up with a date, whether it be immediately or a week after. I don't know that. That's their decision, and obviously yours for Winnebago County. But we want to make sure that, my suggestion is to make sure that each department has a mitigation measures in place, that if they do open to the public and we're having people come in, to make sure that we're still keeping that 6 foot of separation, having marks on the floor. That's probably what we'll do in the courthouse there. I'm sure it would work here as well. one person at the counter at a time, and then it just goes to the hygiene stuff that we talked about before we closed any of the
I
facilities.
think down in the treasurer's office, that bench they can sit on is closer than 6 foot.
It is, and that's what we talked about, moving that out into the hall, not even having that there. And then I know Julie has talked to Kevin about putting X's on the floor, and only like people, one person at each, because we have
You
two
might have
counters
to
we can
go
work
to a
on.
number system so you can.
Exactly, because I think it's gonna be insanely difficult to.
Yours could get real busy when everybody's.
Right, and with the phone calls that we've had about people wanting to get stuff done and upset that they can't get stuff done, but it's really working really well with them calling and they tell, like, well, I bought something, oh, okay, great, and telling us what it is. Then we get it in the system, send out what they need, they can send it to us and we mail it back out.
That's great.
That's worked really well.
Are you
And-
falling behind?
No,
No.
and even with the, half on, half off.
Are you gonna open up the driver's license station then?
We are, but that's gonna be by appointment only,
By appointment? Okay,
every 45 minutes, so that we can have time to sanitize in between.
okay,
And Winnebago County residents only, for
right.
a while.
Yeah. When do you plan on doing that?
I don't know, I guess whenever the courthouse
Oh,
opens
okay.
up, to the public.
So that's a county decision on the licensing department?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Hancock, and we won't be doing any drives until further notice. I think Hancock County, they only do driver's license like Tuesday, and I don't know, I could be wrong, but everybody can pick their times. Every treasurer's office, I guess, can pick their own times, and they only actually take driver's license. I think Tuesdays and Thursdays. I could be wrong, but maybe they only do drives on Tuesdays.
Do you have glass in yours?
Not yet,
Okay.
but that's coming. We were
I was gonna say,
hoping that
probably-
would be up before it opened back up, but if not, we'll just take the necessary precautions.
Are the other offices looking at putting up plexiglass?
I bought plexiglass for the poll workers, so we'll probably just, what I kind of intend to do is take a table in front of our door and put the plexiglass on the table, and then just do any business with ballots and stuff under the door. I kind of intend to just put voting booths down the hallway here, 6 feet apart, because May 4th, we have to be available in the office to vote absentee in person. So, so that's
will that
my
open
plan.
up for them by appointment, or how do they do that?
Well, we can do it by appointment.
Or just call, let them in?
Yeah, well, they can always get in the elevator door, so I just kind of figured I would put X's down the hallway, basically to the elevator, and
Use that painter's tape though.
yeah.
When they put it on the Hy-Vee floor, I used masking tape, we couldn't get that stuff up for nothing. So
We
yeah.
actually
use-
bought some 3M plastic tape, so, we're gonna do that. We're also gonna put out car side voting, so if somebody doesn't feel comfortable coming in, that we're gonna have 2 spots out here where they can call us and say, can you bring me the stuff so I can vote? And then we'll go out to their car, they fill out the information, come back up, run it through the computer, get them a ballot, take
So
it
at that
down.
point, you're gonna probably need to be more staff
Yeah,
dependent.
yeah.
But that's gonna be a decision by the department head.
Mm-hmm.
Carla and I I'm developing a plan for both counties, just for the mitigation techniques for exposure risk for the precinct election officials, as well as Carla's staff during this time, starting next Monday, with potentially in-person voting, the car side voting, and then looking at where's the exposure risks, as far as don't hand your license over, so like for the poll workers, in June for the primary, being able to show their ID, turn it over so it can be scanned, just less touches. And then, like Carla's got a bunch of pens. Looks like the Secretary of State's got a pretty good guidance at least, and I just want to come up with a plan so that we can get that to the precinct election officials when they do their training, so that there's a little more comfort there, and then we're minimizing risk. The reality is that we're in an area of the country that there's no guarantee that that there's not infected people out in our community. We have to assume that there is. We've had 2 cases in Winnebago County, 3 in Hancock. The biggest growth area was Freeborn County, the Albert Lee area. But in the last 10 days, probably, there really hasn't been any growth as far as cases around us, except for maybe Freeborn. Everybody else has stayed pretty consistent. As I'm sure all of you know, on Friday, the governor is on a very limited basis reopening the state. Restaurants will open, churches will be opening, all with the social distancing. The restaurants have to comply with certain rules, and not all businesses are open. And there's certain businesses that are still remain closed. Hair salons and barber shops, things like that, are going to stay closed. But
Rob got it. Okay, I'll let my daughter finish.
yeah, so for the most part, you know, again, the state is going to begin opening up. 77 counties are included in that. There's obviously the others just because of their growth rate and their caseload. That's why they're going to, and that's for 2 weeks, May 14th. So, and that's where we're prompting the courthouse to look at, you know, going to department heads, looking at very limited access potentially, and how the department heads want to run that. But, you know, getting ourselves back open just like the rest of the communities is kind
I
of.
would imagine all of this plexiglass we have to buy to protect ourselves, any equipment like that, we can try and get reimbursement from the
Yeah.
COVID funds.
I've been in contact with the guy from FEMA and working through what we need to do to get reimbursed for a lot of this stuff too, so.
Don't we have to have a uniform policy though,
For
opening, closing, whatever's going on in the courthouse?
Well, yeah, it would be good to have, as far as, I think that decision needs to come from the supervisors as far as if you're going to open to the general public again. And then I think it really, my opinion is that it falls back on the departments to decide what they want to do, like what the treasurer is going to do. Everything I'm hearing is really, really good stuff.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of goes back to those department heads. But yeah, you guys are going to lead the charge as far as when you want to open to the general public. If there's certain provisions that you'd like to see for.
I just don't want to open a can of worms within departments.
Understand.
So I mean, from that standpoint, should it be
As far as, I guess maybe I'm sorry.
split shifts, stuff
Yeah,
like
and
that.
they can, yeah, I think that if the county wants to do that, you know, for Carla's situation, as far as needing more staff, that might change, but I think that, you know, if the board chooses to keep those safeguards in place, that's not a bad thing to do. I think, just like anything that we're doing, we don't want to just throw open the floodgates and see what happens. So I think a metered, measured, intelligent approach like what you're talking about is exactly what needs to happen.
Would you, to keep your ability of your office to keep going and doing your split shift, do you think you would maybe add one poll worker if it starts getting business or busy for having to go out and get people or take care of people?
That would maybe be an option. I kind of thought maybe I would just bring everybody back on May 4th, and I see both sides. Like, part of me is like very nervous about, well, what if somebody gets sick, and then if we're all there, we all get it, and nobody's there to run the polling place. But, you know, and then part of me thinks, well,
Can I interject?
yeah,
I thought if you came in contact with somebody, you were supposed to quarantine yourself. Is that true?
Yeah, that's
That's what I was just gonna ask.
So if somebody gets sick in your office, then you, really all of you are supposed to quarantine.
Right.
well, that's
Isn't it, what, 14
that's
days or something?
the question.
You know, they've got so many symptoms they're adding to this. It's almost like, well, if you get the chicken pox, you've got COVID. That's starting to get to me that they're tying to.
I thought about that this morning too, when I
the
heard that.
virus, they're learning so much about it. You know, just the general, like the 3 big ones are the difficulty breathing, dry cough, and fever, but there's so many others. I know somebody that was positive, that had digestive problems, nausea, upset stomach, things like that. So they thought, well, it's probably not COVID, but it was. So it's soup to nuts. And Mike's absolutely right that if somebody tests positive, anybody in contact, the close contact, and I think CDC and Allison Rice would be able to correct it if I'm wrong, but I believe it's if you've been within 6 feet of that person for 30 minutes, that is a direct contact. That's it's about the same as giving them a hug. But yeah, anything like what the policy states is it's 14 days, you need to be out.
So from that standpoint, wouldn't you want to stay
2 and 2?
split,
And maybe just hire one extra person if there's people coming in to use the holes.
This is Julie, and what Andy said is correct.
Allison just texted.
Yeah, Allison's not here, but this is Julie, and that is correct. So.
Thank you, Julie.
This is Chris, and I guess my thought on the split shift, I think it's good, but as long as we are closed to the public, I don't know if it'd be good to bring them. I'm thinking of bringing them all back May 4th. We're not having customers come in yet, so our risk is low.
And this is Kelsey. Right now, as the policy stands, it is up to each department head as to whether they rotate or not. And I think, obviously, the reason I think you guys did that is because the department head knows what they do or do not need for each department better than anybody else. So that is how the current policy stands.
This is Scott. I can weigh in too, I guess. In the road department, we have 4 people that regularly work in the office, and now 3 of them have computers they can work remotely. So we're also planning to return to full staff, but kind of focusing on field work and remote work and trying to eliminate interactions between our staff just in case one of us is exposed. But so we feel like we can do a good job keeping everybody apart under full staff, so that's what we're planning to do.
full staff with working at home?
Yeah, we've had pretty good luck with our remote situations working from home, and I've seen pretty good productivity from Eric, and I've been able to get a lot done too.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
Yep.
But that just be his office working from home.
Right, of course our guys will take some extra precautions to make sure they kind of get into their machines in a safe way and out at the end of the day, and during the day pretty isolated anyway, so we'll be getting some guidance to them shortly.
So in other words, just continue like we are, right?
Seems that way.
Yeah.
And then each department head can make those decisions as they need. I think really what it boils down to is if the board is comfortable with opening the doors to the general public to come in and out. Or
There again, I think let's leave that up to the majority of the offices.
As a recommendation, probably from the offices.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess at this point, we prefer to stay close to the public. I think we've been doing pretty good working electronically with people on permits and everything else, so that's been going well.
What would it look like to open some offices like the treasurer's, the licensing office and stuff, and keep the others closed by appointment only or something? At least your door can be closed if you have to, or.
Well, like I said, we're gonna put the table across our door with the plexiglass so that
They can't enter.
they can't enter our office, but can come in and vote.
It sounds like licensing people do that, what I would do, right?
Right, driver's license is appointment only and no drives.
Yeah.
The recorder's office has had a lot of requests for fishing license, hunting, turkey, and we've been trying to accommodate them going outside and meeting them in the parking lot. So, I don't know.
They have other choices, don't they, Chris? They can go to, hardware stores.
They do. Well, there really isn't any in Winnebago County right now. Since,
Seems-
Goldie's closed, they don't offer them.
Single Steads doesn't have it?
I believe they still can sell fishing license, but they're limited on some of them because of the new system.
Oh. I think it's a video.
The hardware store in Buffalo doesn't have them anymore?
They do, Forest City though, the only place is the courthouse.
Sounds like the DNR needs to step up and get some things updated
Yeah,
in a good way.
yes.
License free for 2020.
I just bought my license. Maybe 2021.
Well, I think that's probably a good plan. Do we want to set up, do we need to set up any goals to meet before we would open up the courthouse at all, or just leave it to the department heads?
That's probably gonna come down from the state, isn't it? Recommendation.
Well, the state never recommended closure of the courthouses. That was kind of a ripple effect across. You know, that was never an order from the governor's office. That's just something that everybody did. Again, I think you'll see courthouses begin to open, especially now that they're opening up parts of the state. I imagine Hancock County will probably be next week, or the week following. They'll make a decision, I'm sure. But I think you'll just kind of see organically some of those things start to happen. Again, my recommendation is that I think it's a good time to start talking about it, what safeguards need to be in place, and then making sure that traffic patterns, all the different mitigation techniques we talked about before closure are adhered to. To continue that sense of comfort. I love what the treasurer's office is doing, that appointment only, Winnebago County residents only. I know that's going to be a concern across the state because, somebody from Cedar Rapids that needs to renew their license may drive up here.
Right.
Well, with a CDL, it throws a monkey wrench in.
Well, and like with, people working all over.
Yeah.
We get a lot of a lot of different counties
Yeah,
come,
sure.
especially if Winnebago open, right? But, and I know too, like just from working at Hy-Vee, people don't follow instructions very well, I mean, tonight I have to start wearing a mask there, but, which, isn't a bad thing. And physically, I really don't want to, but I get it. But
What's gonna be the process for getting on a list for driver's license? That day of?
well, we've got a spreadsheet made for every 45 minutes up to 3:45, I think.
But you have to call the day of.
No, you can call. I mean, when we know we're going to be open,
If you've got a slot open, they can get an appointment. If
Right.
it's available that day, they'll have to do it the next day.
Just no road drives right now because, some of the cars we have to get into anyway is like, oh gosh.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Whole pack of wipes.
And I'm not a clean freak, but it's like, oh.
Yeah, the wipes I don't know how the wipe situation is here, but I know they're hard to come by everywhere else.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah. I mean,
find them.
we've just, especially at like the communication center, everybody touches everything, so we've gone to where we can spray on a rag and wipe surfaces down.
Is peroxide strong enough?
I think peroxide does work. I was reading some information that actually isopropyl alcohol is probably one of the best. There's
Can't find that either.
Yeah.
It's going down fairly fast.
Oh, yeah, but like isopropyl, they say within 30 seconds, untouched, can kill this virus, but then if you have it on your hands and start rubbing it, it goes quicker.
Practically instantly is what I read.
Yeah, almost instantly.
Sure, it dries things out though.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, I tell you what,
It's so dry.
I have a condition where the skin on my hands is allergic to water, which is dumb, I don't even want to talk about it, but, so it's an autoimmune response, and so when I wash my hands a lot, they get really nasty, so I have medicine for it, but man, it's weird.
My daughter's roommate at Waldorf is allergic to the cold.
Weird.
I don't know, during the winter, she's got to cover herself up completely. She breaks out from the cold. So
Well, I think we have kind of a plan, don't we?
Yep, and again, I'll show up as much as possible again if it's on the agenda, you know.
I think we should have it on the agenda.
Just leave it on the agenda.
Yep. And I do calls, you know, I know Terry has joined, and I'm sure everybody, a lot of other people have, but I do calls on Thursday afternoons with Winnebago County, just to give them an update. We'll talk this Thursday, because the state's kind of starting to reopen. Friday, we'll have a lot more to talk about, so.
Yeah, they got certain guidelines before they can open up a restaurant, don't they?
Yeah, they have to stay, they have to go 50% of their capacity, so it's their seating capacity. So if they normally could put in, say, 80 customers, they can go to 40. There has to be no more than 6 people at one table, and the restaurant has to maintain 6 foot of separation between customers, and they can't have any self-serve options, no buffets, no salad bars, or anything like that. And there's probably a couple more little things. Churches, again, they're going back. That will be interesting to see how that goes. So I'm hoping for guidance, but if not, my recommendation is going to be at least
Every other pew.
Every other pew, and then just you have to maintain that 6 foot, you know. I've said all along, if everybody cared on the pool cue, we'd be all right. It's about 6 foot.
I had a yardstick, and even a yardstick, you think, you know, it's 2 of those. And I know that people are not maintaining that,
No.
even the yardstick distance, let alone 6 foot distance.
Yeah, we're relying on, and everybody, even, I mean, I don't care what policy any governor across the United States has got, you have to rely on the goodness of other people that want to do their own part. And it's going to be tough. I know that the governor's office is going to continue to look at those metrics. And if they see spot growth, case growth in certain areas, I don't think she'll hesitate in bringing some of those freedoms, pulling them back, if you will.
How about testing?
Testing is going to continue to expand. There's testiowa.com. I encourage everybody to go to it. I sent out information last week. Testiowa.com, you go through, you fill out an assessment. You can, and it'll tell you whether or not you should be tested or whether they recommend it. The goal of Test Iowa at the end of this is to test 3,000 Iowans a day, with the ultimate goal of testing 540,000 Iowans over and above what we've already done. So we'll be close to that 600,000 mark, which is, I mean, that's a pretty good percentage of the population. The more we can identify those people, because I've never been tested, I might have it, I just don't have any symptoms, you know. So there's people out there like that.
So there was one key question on there that could be interpreted 2 different ways.
Right.
Have you ever been in contact with somebody that had COVID? Well, I don't know,
Right.
because you don't tell us who had it in our county. Who were those 2 people?
Right.
I might have, I might not have.
Well, and again, our public health folks do a great job with case tracking. So what they're doing is that those positive cases, they go back and find out, okay, when did you start? And so they're going to go back and do, it's called contact tracing. Allison and Julie can talk about that.
So if I haven't been contacted, I probably haven't
Correct.
been contacted.
Again, our public health is doing a great job. Luckily, we're not overrun with a bunch of cases, but that's part of what they do, is they want to go back through and make sure that if they said, oh gosh, we had dinner over at the Derby's on Saturday night, okay, well, we're gonna have to call and say, hey, guess what? I hope you like Netflix.
So like, let's say somebody gets it and they were at the grocery store on Saturday and they spiked a fever on Sunday. So do they have to contact everybody that was in the grocery store on Saturday?
That would be a question for I don't know how they would do that. You know, those mass gathering settings like that. Would it be concerning? Absolutely, it would. The fact that I can't remember when our last case was identified. It was obviously, I think it was more than 2 weeks ago, maybe 3. Again, this is all just kind of a blur. The fact that we're not having case growth, you know, with things like Hy-Vee and all those, the grocery stores, the hardware stores that are open. So either it's just really not widespread around here. We don't have a lot of people that are positive or traveling, or we're just really doing a really good job of behaving ourselves. hard to say. So when it comes to that contract trace, I've never done any of that myself. Again, our public health folks, they do a great job of it. They'd probably be able to answer that question.
As of right now, what we do is, we are told to the 6 feet, you know, if you've been in contact 6 feet, and, only household members, but that is all subject to change too.
But how do you report it? I mean,
We have to go, we contact the person, you know, when we get a case, we contact the person, and, then we do our investigation with them, and then we report it into a program that we have through the State Department. And so, because we have to record their temperatures and all that stuff in there, and their symptoms,
and then do you contact?
and then we monitor them for the 14 days.
So do you contact those they've come in contact with?
They give us a list. I'm not sure. I'm thinking Allison did. Allison, hold on, I'll let her go ask her. Hey, Allison, contact.
It's impossible at the grocery store, somebody
Yeah.
paid cash, you never know who they were.
Well, and, you
And
know,
then you can look at the cameras, but you may not know everybody too. You know.
if somebody asked me last time I was in a grocery store, I could get you within 3 days, but I couldn't say, oh, it was last Tuesday.
Sunday.
I haven't been to a grocery store since before I went for Europe,
Really?
so.
My wife keeps everything she knows.
Okay, Allison's here. Ask your question again, Mike.
So if you catch somebody that has it, do you contact those that they have been in contact with?
As of right now, the way the investigation reads, we do the household contacts on an automatic. And then there's extra guidance if someone works outside the home in healthcare for a job where they would be in close proximity, which would be the 6 feet deal. So it just depends on where they work and how close the contact they were with household. Household contacts are automatic, but beyond the household, it just has different variables.
Thanks.
Oh,
Yep.
all right. We need to,
And our 2 cases in Winnebago County have recovered.
Oh. So just to be clear, is the courthouse opening to the public on Monday?
No,
No, okay.
We will talk about it too.
the department heads can do what they
Whatever they
want
want.
as far as staffing, but we'll still be close to the public, except for voting, basically.
By appointment or?
Well, yeah, well,
When does that start?
May 4th.
Well, see, we
Monday.
can talk about it next Tuesday then. Right?
Monday's the 4th.
Monday's the 4th.
Okay.
You know, we've really encouraged people to vote absentee. So
Yes.
I would be surprised. Everybody should be getting their absentee ballot request form in the mail today or tomorrow. So I don't see why people need to come in person.
But you know.
But if they do, then we will be prepared for them. So,
All right. I can tell you how to run it, but would you consider just handing them a mail-in balance and please take this home?
we can't,
Oh, you can't?
that's illegal.
Oh, okay.
Federal
either-
law.
Yeah, we either have to mail it to them, or they have to, when they come in, they have to stand there and vote it. They can't take the ballot with
That's where
them.
the drive up might be the easiest.
Yeah,
all right, we gotta move on. We've got a 9:30 AM call we gotta make. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. All right, 9:30 AM, consider for approval contract with the Iowa DOT regarding a project on joint DD 545217. Are we supposed to call?
they should be on the phone.
This is Chris, and Jackie just sent an email that she tried the phone number and it was busy. So I forwarded that message to Eric. I'm hoping that he gets it and they can get her on. What's happening is there's a project, as you can see, west of Fertile. So it's strictly in Worth County, but we are the control county for this district. So they need our approval.
Hey, Chris.
There'll be no harm. Yeah.
Chris, you want me to call her on my cell phone so she can be in on it?
You can call the office. I'm not, let me see. Her phone number is 641-324-2316.
What? Last four?
2316.
Okay.
Is Hancock County on the line?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Call it on the desk.
Ken Evans from Worth County here.
Oh,
Most
great.
places, most counties there.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, it just needs our approval for them to go ahead. There won't be any district payments. It'll be all paid by the DOT.
So all we need to do is make a motion to approve it then?
Is there any opinions from the other counties?
Yeah, as far as, is there any concerns with the project?
No, there's none from Worth County, I don't believe. This Marks maybe.
This is Hancock, and Hancock has no concerns.
I'll make a motion to move forward with the, resolution. Let's see. Go down here.
Yeah.
The approve the contract with Iowa DOT regarding project Joint District 545217. This is Terry.
I have a motion from Derby.
It's not a joint meeting, it's you guys,
Oh,
so,
it's just us, all right.
yeah.
And then second from Stensrud to approve the contract with the Iowa DOT for joint drainage district 545217. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right,
All eyes on Hancock.
All eyes from Worth, I
That's
believe.
the one he needs to sign.
all right, I think it works.
Okay,
Thank
and
everyone.
I guess
Thank
there's
you.
nothing else, unless you guys wanna listen to our exciting meeting.
I'm watching you on
I'm out.
YouTube, so it's funny.
Oh, you're watching, I'm sorry, you're watching on YouTube. That means you can see me.
You look good on
Have your
camera,
TV
Bill.
here on.
Yeah, I've got a face for radio.
I like your haircut.
Yeah, no kidding. That's, at least there, get my good side.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Motion that, Jerry,
I heard him say second.
I heard him say second as well.
So why wouldn't have that have been a joint decision? I thought it was.
Well, maybe,
Well, we're the control county, but they're all in on it.
but it's only for us to sign.
Right, but the vote should have been Tricon. Then they voted on it, so.
Well, they all voted on it, so.
There's lots of places to sign here. Authorized representative, print type.
This is a signature page.
I got a bigger one.
Scott, do you wanna come up to the door? Show where to sign?
Oh, it's,
Qualification, just that one?
Mhm.
should have been page 2 of this one.
All member of
That's
county
for the, yeah,
supervisors.
you're the supervisor.
This is notary public.
Yep.
Which one are you guys on?
That's fine.
I think we figured it out.
We think we figured it out.
If not, somebody will tell us it's wrong.
Are you guys on, which one now?
The contract with number
Oh.
8.
Okay. Then we'll move on to number 4.
Do you want to do number 2?
Oh, is she on?
She's
Oh, she's
sitting
out
there.
here now. Yeah, that's right. That's right, we already.
She can probably sit in the back.
There she is. Have a seat.
Morning.
Morning.
I just wanted to update you on what's going on in the Veterans Affairs office.
By Iowa Code 35, we're supposed to give you an update quarterly. So I think the last time was at budget time. There's been a few changes on what's going on. I don't know if you've heard, Dennis Zarin is my counterpart in my office, and he has resigned. But yet I was able to get him to help fill in if needed and when needed this summer too. Our commissioners met last Tuesday, and decided they wanted to keep 2 people in my office. So that's not just a one person. And if something would happen to me, nobody knows where to pick up and continue the office training. So I'll be looking for someone else to fill in at least a little bit, one day a week or half day a week or whatever, so that there's some continuity in the Veterans Affairs office. And so it doesn't get to the point that you don't have any idea what's going on down there. So because that's the biggest part. The other thing is the outreach. We're encouraged to do outreach from our office. And I've been working with those returning servicemen or women who are issued DD-214s and sending out letters to them when they return home.
What's the DD-214?
That's their discharge papers.
Okay, thank
So
you.
when they're discharged from active service, whether it be National Guard or full-time, they're getting something sent out to them. We also are actively working with the nursing homes. Lake Mills is very good about responding to any veterans that are admitted or spouses or dismissed, working on making sure maybe it's a training issue with the other nursing homes in our county on getting that. Also, you may be hearing, I've been on the radio recently to encourage veterans that our office is still open and who's there. So that's going on right now. And I've had some response from that already. People calling and say, hey, can you help me? And I've been able to meet with a couple with one specific veteran outside the office. And most of the time that they come in, I meet with them on the curb step. So that's where
I say that not an easy way to do it.
not an easy way. Fortunately, my office is very isolated, so I don't have to worry about a lot of other
All
traffic.
you have is that entryway. You could have them in and while you're in your office.
Exactly, but it's been nice weather, so I've been able to step out curbside to them and help them out there, those that need it. So Friday, with the governor's proclamation, there's a little bit of changes. We receive $10,000 in our office every year, specifically for outreach and for training for our office. It cannot be used for direct veteran care. She lifted that mandate, and so we can use it for food resources and anything that would directly help aid veterans. So our spring training and our summer training have been canceled. So if we don't use it on those things, we generally have to send it back, but it's been opened up so that we can use it for additional veteran needs during this time. So I guess that's the biggest thing. I wanted to let you know that could be some office changes down in our office. We're kind of out of sight, out of mind sometimes, so people don't have any idea what goes on down there. I had no idea when I started. I received my certification in February before all this COVID stuff has gone on, so that's been good. Still waiting for the Office of General Counsel to get back with official numbers back to me and saying, yes, it's good, so I could get into the VA access. So it's a slow process dealing with federal government. How about that? That's what I've definitely learned. So it's like, it took me almost a year to get my certification, and now it's been 2 months since I've had it for them to say, yes, you can proceed. So anyway, so I am certified to be in that. I had to have that within a year of appointment. So that's really all I have. But I wanted to make sure that you guys know we'll be coming up hopefully quarterly to give your reports so we stay within Iowa code. Do you have any questions?
Thank you for working with our veterans.
So,
Thank you.
we like the peace and tranquility that's been there.
Hopefully you'll be hearing a few positive things are coming out, as we, like I said, work to open up and let people know that we're there and doing things. So been trying to keep up on all the food assistance and, I don't know if you guys are aware, you talk about not being at a grocery store. Anybody that is receiving food stamps, they have no choice but to go into the grocery store and actually run their food stamp card through it. So that's been a challenge with some of our veterans who are maybe with big health issues,
Can somebody do it for them?
so somebody can take it for
You
them.
can give me a call.
So-
I'll come and do it for them.
So I've done that a couple times, gone down to Hy-Vee and helped out a veteran running there with their list. Of course, it's like, okay, I don't even know Hy-Vee where things are anyway yet. I still think it's bills and should be certain stuff, so where am I going? Plus shopping for somebody else, but, so
Seems like it's a moving target down there.
it is, you
Keeps
know,
getting moved.
it's moving all the time, so, yeah. And wear my mask, you know, when I work with a veteran that has ill health, but, so, you know, if somebody needs assistance, also the payments that are going out, the $1,200, you know, they're being a little delayed for those who have not filed tax returns, which a lot of Social Security recipients or VA compensation people don't have to file because it's not taxable income for the VA compensation. So if they have dependents, they have to go in and file as a non-filer and add that dependent. So there's lots of moving stuff, as you all well know, going on right now.
So have they indicated the people that are on Social Security and VA benefits, is it gonna come with those other payments, or?
It should be coming soon, but if you have a dependent, you know, if I have somebody who's got a child at home, you know, too, that they have to actually add that child to get the additional payment. And it's by May 5th, I believe, they have to add that. So they will be getting them automatically, but if they have dependents, they have to add that dependent. So,
Well, I know at least a handful of guys who would gladly help you out with those guys.
okay. I have one person who called, said that they would help, and then I called them, they said, well, we won't go in the grocery store. I'm like, oh, that's what I need. So we go in the grocery store and take the list, you know?
And I know that the grocery store is not able to, within, it seems like they're a week out before they can put things together for you.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, it's tough on the grocery store employees. I know they're working their hardest too in circumstances, but, so. Anyway, and it's been working fine for me to deal with veterans over the phone and make calls back and forth and do most of it via mail. Of course, mail's not always easy. I have to bring it up here because I don't have a postage machine. I don't know how heavy it is, so I drop it in the auditor's box and they put postage on it for me, so. But, I'll let you carry on.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Cindy.
Okay. 4, Scott Miners, engineer, will discuss secondary road matters.
Yeah, this is Scott. I don't have too much to report, or guys started working on culvert separations and this and that, work orders around the county. The guys that are here blading roads and hauling rock, and of course we'll be shooting for full staff next week and hopefully kind of ramp things up and get things moving a little more quickly. Fortunately, we've had pretty good spring, very dry so far, as evident by all the farming that's been done. We have pre-construction meeting this week with Massey Construction for our paving projects that are coming up in June. I sent out some information to the public about that so they can be ready for it. We'll learn a lot more at Thursday's pre-construction meeting about more precise schedule and order of events and where they're going to start and all that kind of stuff, hopefully. And we'll keep posting updates as we know them. I think other than the things on the agenda, I think that's all I got.
I have nothing.
I don't have anything.
Scott, that item I texted you about yesterday, what did you see anything there at all, or on that culvert or the road?
Well, we headed up there today. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get up there yesterday.
I went across it yesterday and I got distracted by a phone call when I got there and really didn't feel it myself, but.
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't specifically looking for it on Sunday, but I did go through there, so also just take a closer look.
Okay. He was concerned that maybe the culvert is failing or something.
Sure. We'll take a look.
All right, thanks.
Yep.
Number 5, consider for approval resolutions to purchase equipment for the secondary road department.
Yep, so there are two resolutions, one for maintainer and one for the trucks. Based on the discussion we had, very little difference between that and the final quotes, so, you guys have any other questions?
Take a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Motion from Stender and a second from Derby to approve the resolutions to purchase equipment for the secondary road department. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? What were they allowing you for the used dump truck?
60.
Where's it at here?
On the grader.
60,700 for trade.
On the grader one.
I know somebody's looking for one.
Okay.
One
One thing, there's two resolutions and 2 copies of each bill, so if you and Carla could, sign all 4 of those. One copy for her and one for me of each of them.
Where did the disinfectant go? Is it gone?
Mike's got it.
Can I have some of that?
Yeah.
Now that we're doing the,
The second though, it sanitizes the bottle. So I'm sure that gets, doesn't it?
Well, what is it? People grabbing it.
how-to video.
You want me to wipe it down?
Well, you've already lathered it up, so
I don't wanna
just
get
set it there.
I don't wanna get it
There you go.
reinfected.
Oh, yeah, but I just killed what he had put on there.
I know it.
Taking every precaution.
I don't mean to giggle.
I'll sit here.
Normally I have my spray bottle of ethyl alcohol, and forgot to throw it in this.
I used to carry a small can of Lysol whenever I went into a truck. It says right on there, it kills COVID virus.
It does.
That's for years. Decades and decades.
And they've known of this?
This is a new COVID,
Oh,
or
No,
new
this is a-
coronavirus.
Well, this is a different strain of it, just
Yes.
like we have different strains of the flu. But, the 1918 flu epidemic was a coronavirus.
really?
It's been around for a while.
Well, that even ups my conspiracy theory then. After listening to that doctor, boy, I tell you,
There's a bunch more too.
I know.
That said the same things. But, all right, number 6, consider for approval resolution to accept the bid from Logness Brothers Excavating in the amount of $559,107 and award the associated contract ID number 95 CO 95-070 and authorize the county engineer to execute the contract. Contract includes project numbers BROS swap C09570 SE95 FMCO 9578 5595 FMCO 9580 5595. I probably didn't need to say that, but I just thought you.
I'll make that
I can get through it without stuttering.
I'll make that a motion.
second.
Motion from Derby and a second from Sandra to approve the
So we've got a place for all three, yeah.
resolution to accept the bids as stated. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Auditor's office.
You
What's that?
Do you guys have any questions on that?
Nope.
I don't.
It's pretty straightforward, but one thing to mention, we're 63,000 under estimate, so that's good. And we have a local contractor in Rocky Brothers.
Yeah, I was happy to see that. All right, thank you, Scott.
Yep.
Auditor's office will discuss drainage matters. 7511.
This is Chris, and I do not have anything.
Anybody else got anything for drainage?
Nope. Here, Mike, you gotta sign these.
Okay, then we'll set the public hearing for ordinances 40 and 41.
You handed me these.
No, I didn't. Sorry, I just snorted.
If you would.
Yes, sir.
Carla, this is Chris. What are the ordinances?
Ordinances 40 and 41.
For
That doesn't explain a lot.
classification changes for Fleener and that, those people in Lake Mills.
South of Lake Mills.
Yeah, the one with the binder.
What's the Fleener one then? Which property?
He was doing, cement, that's industrial, and he was, it's on ag,
Okay.
so it's changing,
Oh, the processing of the concrete?
yeah.
Okay.
If you have more questions than that, you probably need to call Matt Duvet, because
I think I know him now.
It's going to commercial, right?
I think it's industrial,
Industrial.
the one for Fleener. The other one is commercial.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize they were zoning, so that's perfect. Thank you.
Got a date?
What?
Got a date?
May 19th?
Make a motion to have the public hearing for ordinances number 40 and 41 for May 19th, 2020 at
9, 10, yeah.
9 o'clock.
I'll second the motion.
Motion Senator, second Derby, to set the public hearing for the ordinances. May 19th?
Yeah.
What is it?
At, space it off, really.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Open forum.
Maybe scan it to Chris and ask her what to do with it. I have no idea.
You got anything for open forum?
Just you need to sign those.
One step. Just me out and you guys. I trust you.
All right. Okay.
I suppose Kevin does this too. Think of that.
Oh, I suppose under open forum, I could probably notify you both that I have to go to Minneapolis tomorrow. But it's for county business, to pick up the faces.
Yeah.
So I will plan on just driving straight there, keeping my distance from the gentleman with my mask on, and driving straight back.
Right on the forklift with him.
It's a pretty small forklift.
fun on the trip to Minneapolis, don't you? You can't even do anything exciting like that.
Yeah, I wish. Wish I could go shopping up there.
You gotta go through downtown?
I have to, the last time I went around downtown up to 94 past downtown, and then you take a right, go east. This time, when I came back, I went around downtown and came up down 35Ws. I think I'll go 35Ws.
Be interested to see what the traffic is.
Well, yeah, it was pretty heavy last time, and the construction on 35W was bad. And I actually had to get off last time and kind of come up through old downtown. And it was complicated. Especially when I had a load on last time, going through downtown, through those dips.
I just got a question text from an employee saying we have this policy that says you can't go 75 miles out of the county. But the reason that Terry is going is because he has to pick something up so that we can finish the construction for the building. Otherwise, you wouldn't be going to Minneapolis.
It's the only reason I'm going. I'll be wearing my gloves and my mask and decontaminating myself.
Did you see the video or the Chuck Schumer was gonna make a statement and he was wearing a mask in public and he walked up to the podium with the microphone on it, he had the mask on. He didn't have it over his nose. He just had it over his mouth and his chin. He said, golly, somebody, you thought one of these handlers would have instructed him.
Oh, this is real, it's not a
No,
joke.
no, this is real. It
No,
was real.
come on.
It was on the news. Everything on the news is real.
That's.
I just, somebody that I know was in the grocery store and a guy was wearing a mask and he was touching all the groceries and then he saw somebody he knew, took the mask down, said, hello, put the mask back up. So you've just contaminated everything by,
In theory, he probably doesn't have anything, but he's
No, but-
being well, who was it? Somebody went in and spit all over a bunch of food at some food shelf and then throw it all away. It was,
$35,000.
yeah, I was gonna say, went in 35,000 at dinner. What a knucklehead. You know,
There's no lady.
they didn't throw it away. All they did was let it sit there for 3 days. The virus is dead. But
Well, I gotta wonder if people are handling fruits and vegetables at the grocery store. How do you know somebody?
well, you see, and there's a surface where.
That's why I go back to that doctor. I mean, what did he say, 92% that get it? Was it 92 or 80 that get it? Not gonna even know you had it.
Just like food.
And this morning, they said 99.2% of the people that have been treated for it had underlying conditions that affected it, so.
I think that's the scary part is the people with the underlying conditions that,
Yes. Like you, like my wife. With my own cancer, it's one touch and go.
I've been concerned for years when the flu was going around and who it's gonna get that I know out of the nursing homes that have, like, you know, or the other elderly people. It's been that way for many, many years. That we gotta worry about.
Been to the grocery store 4 times since this, and Dollar General once.
I'm in the
I
grocery
miss
store.
people.
I'm in the grocery store every day.
I didn't really.
They're near.
So I'm wondering,
We got lots of kids. They're all home.
how is it gonna affect our coffee shops then? They're a restaurant.
They've gone underground.
No, I mean,
Going to people's
starting
houses.
Friday though. Starting
Yeah,
Friday, the
yeah.
restaurants can open up, so as long as they limit the table to 6 people.
6 people and they stay away, 6 feet apart or whatever.
That's gotta work.
Yeah. Well, no, they're going out to people's houses and having
Yeah.
coffee. At Denny's.
I know a household that has happy hour every day.
I see them standing outside the front door of the business.
I was, sitting by a breach unloading, fertilizer and saw 6 carloads of teenagers all go to the same place. I recognized some of them as they went by.
I ran across at the Scarville Blacktop, there was 2 carloads, it would have been 12 kids. 2 carloads of kids, all got out of their cars and were talking to each other at the stop sign. Without the social distancing.
And somehow they all haven't got it. But it's about 50,000. Leave the signatures in this verse.
Well, when you're ready, I'll make a motion to approve the payroll claims.
I'll second it.
Motion Derby, second Stoneberg, to approve the payroll claims. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We stand adjourned.